Y'all, it's the season to be thankful. And sometimes you have to dig deep, and I mean deep, to find things to be thankful for. But this year, I'm thankful for Honey Love bras because there's nothing worse than suffering through a Thanksgiving dinner with an uncomfortable bra or really just in your everyday life. Sometimes I watch our reality shows and I want to send some of our gals a Honey Love bra. You know, I'm looking at you directly, Zaria. But y'all know Honey Love's bras feature that supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're super soft. I mean, you don't want to take it off. It's a around the house bra. It's a sleeping bra. They're just so comfortable. You guys, my mom is 83 and she just recently told me she ordered a Honey Love bra. And I can't wait to hear how much she loves it. She's going to love it. And she used my code, of course. Don't forget about their shapewear. It's holiday party season, you guys. We all have an outfit we need to fit into, look great, whether it's like pants or a dress. Their shapewear uses targeted compression technology, so you no longer feel like you're suffocating or that your life is being squeezed out of you. For me personally, I like their V neck bra, and I also love the super power short for smoothing out those love handles, under that dress. And so it doesn't roll down when you sit down. Also, that is the worst. You're at a party, you sit down, the thing rolls down, you got to get up, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to fix it, and then you got to readjust your boobs and everything. When you're wearing Honey Love, you don't have any of these problems, okay? Give the gift of comfort this holiday season, whether you're attending a wedding, hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner, or going to a holiday party, or simply seeking that everyday boost of confidence. Honey Love can be your perfect plus one. So get yourself or someone you love the gift of comfort. Plus, for November only, listen to this. Honey Love is giving up to 50% off site wide. Visit honeylove.com/pink shade and shop their sale. And when you go to checkout, it'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please say, "Pink Shade sent me." Thanks. Hey y'all, it's Mary Payne here. This is a long episode, so we broke it into two parts. You're listening to part one, and part two will be in your feed. Hey everybody, and welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. It's TLC Tuesday. I've got Kimberly here, and we're ready to talk about before the 90 days. I mean, I'll be honest, Kimberly, it's my anniversary, and I went out to dinner before we did this because we're recording kind of late, and I did have 1.5 glasses of wine.
I'm so excited.
One
You
and a
look
half.
gorgeous.
Yeah, if it's a makeup on, it's like a whole
Yeah.
I did not wear this pink shade t-shirt to dinner. I actually wore
You
like
did.
like a grown-up outfit. We had to move our recording a little later, and so I told Kimberly, I go, "We'll see what you're gonna get. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
love
know."
it.
I will tell you that twice I had to send my steak back at dinner, and
No, are you
I'm
one of
a
those people?
I'm not one of those people. I will endure and just sort of push it around my plate and pretend that it was great and never say a word.
So it must have been really bad.
Well, okay, so you're a vegetarian, but I eat a nice steak like whenever we go somewhere, but normally I don't really eat much red meat at all. And so, but if I like a filet mignon, it's going to be really good, and this place is really good, and pricey. And so he brought it, and I asked for medium plus, which means I like it slightly pink, but not much. I don't want it. I don't want it bleeding on the plate, but I don't want it charred. Okay.
I feel
When I
like
tell
Renee
you,
right now talking about the
I
chickens.
know, yeah, you were talking about the chickens, and I don't want their beak attached, but the eyeballs are fine. They did bring my husband's fish with the head attached. He was like, "Okay." He literally goes, I'm gonna put the napkin over it. I want looking
It's looking at me.
at me." But it was the place is great. We've been there a ton. And so I was like, Dave looked at me and goes, "You're not going to eat that. You're not going to," I mean, because he knows. I go, "Yeah, it's really really not done much at all." And so the guy came, he goes, "I'm so sorry." He was like our friend. He was being so nice and he took it back. They brought it back and I was like, "Did you just put this on the counter and then bring it back to me?" 'Cause it's the exact same thing. And I go, "It's fine." And the guy goes, "It doesn't seem like it's fine." I go, "It's totally fine. It's great. I love the Brussels sprouts. They're so good. I love this
This plate
hash
is really
brown,
white, and shiny.
Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Bread was great."
Yeah,
And
this
then
napkin is clean.
oh my God. He was like, "I'm taking it back." So Dave's like, "She's not going to eat it." I was like, "Oh my God." So they brought it back the third time. Okay. And it was completely perfect and great and, whatever. I told the guy, I go, I'm mortified. And Dave goes, she would have just sat there with it on the plate and took it home and then microwaved it and ate it like 2
Oh,
days from now. And the guy was like, "No, no, no. We wanna make sure." So then at the end, he came up and he goes, "Is today your actual anniversary?" We said, "Yeah, today's our actual anniversary." And he goes, "Well, November 18th is a really special day for me because my first nephew was born today." And he was so cute. He was saying that his brother is just he and his brother, and the brother and his wife had had a baby that day and that
aw,
morning. And he's like, "This will always be a special day to me. And I'll remember you guys." I go, "You
aw.
remember because I was the pain in the ass with the steak." Um,
No, you should get what you want as long as you're nice about it,
we,
and you're
I was,
paying for it.
I was completely just going to pretend to eat it, you know. And Dave's
I
like,
know,
"I
I do
mean,
the same
it's
thing.
expensive." So, anyway, we did bring some home for the dogs, and he did take it off of our bill.
Oh, nice.
Which then, of course, where I was like, "Oh my god, you don't have to do that!"
Yeah, and
You
then
know,
you tip,
just
like,
yeah. Oh,
so
Dave,
much money. Yeah.
Dave's like,
Here's
"Of
some for your
course."
nephew too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
"Congratulations on the birth of your nephew." And he's like, "Next time you come in, make sure to ask for Devin." I was like, "Yeah." So that was my evening. That was
I
my
love
evening.
it.
And he guessed correctly how many years we've been married. So Devin was our guy.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. He was like, "How old are your kids?" We're like, "We're not giving you any hints, Devin. Don't try to."
He was one of those chatty waiters that's like, "Let's be friends. What's your Enneagram number?"
Well,
Like,
by the time we got into 5 solid minutes of the nephew conversation, I was like, we are just out to dinner." Like,
yeah.
so, yeah. I did have 1.5. But then when we were leaving, I said, "Dave, I'm not gonna drink the rest of this wine." He goes, "Well, we'll just sit here. You can drink it." I go, "Well, number 1, I have to record. And number 2, it's not as good as the first glass of wine."
Oh,
Dave goes Dave goes, "'Cause we had this, like, chocolate souffle thing that was, like, super chocolatey." He goes, "I bet it's the chocolate. It, like, made the wine taste weird."
oh.
I was like, old me would have just slung it back, but new healthy me says, "No, I can
It's
leave it."
that spot on your brain. You're like, that spot, I get one spot, 1 glass per spot. Right
1
now, I
glass
have
per
1
spot.
spot, and
Mhm.
I don't want 2, so I'm just having 1.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you for always reminding me about the spot on my brain. People did, I bet 25 people have reached out to me about that Prenuvo wanting my code.
Well, reach out if you got your results, and do you have spots on your brain too?
I
Let
would
us
like
know.
to know. I'd like to know if anybody else had any but you don't have to tell me it's HIPAA. I mean,
No, it's
whatever.
HIPAA. You don't that you could volunteer that information. We would
Mm,
never ask or share it with
right,
anyone,
unless you told us to.
and we would
Um,
discuss it on the air, though. So I hope that's
I
HIPAA.
hope that
HIPAA is fine with podcasters discussing.
that's right. HIPAA doesn't
Does
apply.
anyone have an STD that they wanna talk about?
Oh, I got some great screenshots of that for a story I'm gonna do. Um, Guess what, Kimberly? I went up like a couple of hundred people on Instagram. I'm at like 10.9.
Amazing.
I know. I think it's because of Ronnie. I think it's because Ronnie was on and I did a reel with Ronnie, and I think that's why.
Oh, Ronnie's the I'm so jealous.
I think it's the Ronnie Karam effect.
I know.
Yeah.
I listened, it was amazing.
He's so
There
funny.
was one thing I was gonna tell you about that episode. I was gonna say,
Mm.
"Something, something, something, Mary Payne."
Mm.
It was
Really?
gonna be like a, "I have something, so I'm gonna have to listen to the whole episode again." Does that ever happen to any of you people? Do you wanna say something and then you need to go back and listen to, like, the entire podcast again? You
Yep.
might put it on 1.4 speed just so you can get through it and get triggered, "What was that thing
Buy
I was
that
gonna
thing.
tell you?"
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. It happens to me, every day. The older I get and the more spots I get on my brain that
yeah.
it's happening. Okay. Most importantly, what we want to tell you guys about is the thruple of Kimberly, Katie, and Mary Payne. We are having a moment. We're having a very shady, I think that's what we've named it. A very no shady date, whatever. We're having a moment, and it's going to be the case of the Christmas diamond. You guys were covering a Peacock episode called The Case of the Christmas Diamond. It's going to be December 12th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. 6 p.m. Mountain.
Wow, that was so impressive.
Yeah, that was good. And anyway, guys, it's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, December 12th. The Case of the Christmas Diamond. It's on Peacock. Go ahead and watch it now. Tickets are live now.
Yeah,
The link
so
will.
a moment, if you are
Mm,
new here, we did one
oh,
last year and it was so
yeah.
much fun, and it's like a live it's a give me one moment in time,
Mm.
and then it's gone, except it does last for like 4 days after. So, give me one moment in time plus 4 days, and then it's not as catchy, but it and you buy tickets to it, and there's the fun chat is going on,
Yeah,
and, you know, we might be wearing Christmas sweaters,
we might.
even this Jew face might. We don't know what's gonna
Wow.
happen. Uh, we still have a couple weeks to figure
Mm,
it out.
yeah, and when I tell you we are minimally prepared,
Yeah, this is
minimally
the
prepared.
least organized. Thank God we have Ingrid and you. You were pushing, like, "Let's pick a movie, let's do this." Yeah,
Yeah, I was pushing it, but now I hand the reins to Ingrid
yeah,
to do everything. By the way, when she called Moment to say, like, she called him on the phone, like, old-timey wise.
yeah.
When she got in touch with Moment to say, "Hey, we wanna do this," it
Norma,
was,
can you give me, KL Hill Road moment, please?
"I need to speak to the operator at Moment." And she called them, and it was so our Moment's December 12th. I think she called them on, like, the 14th, okay? So, right around 1 month in advance, and they said no. I said, "No, we can't do it. We won't
We're
do it for you.
booked out.
We're
I
booked
need
out."
how did they booked out? Do they have? Is there a certain amount of bandwidth at moment? It's the internet. The internet is endless.
Or people to help, and they told her no. So she started looking at alternatives. Like, "Okay, well, they can't be the only game in town. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
just
if
put
they
this
don't
on
want
myself."
us, we don't want them.
Right, and they don't have to take a cut. We'll just figure it out ourselves. And she gave that about 2 days and said, "Nope." And she called him up again and said, "Is Ingrid Stanton calling again? I demand to speak to your manager."
Can I get
And
to the manager of Moment?
she got to the manager and they said, "We'll allow it." And now they're letting us do it. Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
They've assigned an intern to our case, so they don't have to hire someone new.
Totally, totally. So, you guys, tickets are on sale now. The You could go to, like, the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever, or just here where you're listening. The link is in the show notes. It's $22. There will be special guest appearances. We're going to do our gift exchange. We're going to do a recap of this movie, and so you can buy a ticket before the event and watch it live, and then you'll be in the chat and all that. Now, you can also buy it before, and if that night something happens and you can't watch it, it's fine. You can watch it up to 4 days later. You can also buy it the day after and still watch it up to 4 days later.
Incredible.
Price is the same no matter what.
Yeah, sorry.
That's it. I got my gifts today.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, they're on their way. I've
Okay.
ordered them to
You're
me so that I
way
could
ahead of the ball.
wrap them and then send them to you.
What date is this again? How much time do I
December
have?
12th. December 12th. December
It's on
12th.
my calendar.
Yeah,
Oh
on
my
your
god.
calendar.
There's just been a lot going on, Mary Payne. My bandwidth, my personal moment bandwidth has been taken up by other things.
Okay.
Apologies. But now I'm in focused. I'm in it to win it.
Okay. You're with us. Okay. Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to share with the group, or is it HIPAA violation, or
No, Jesus, no. It's just the world, Mary Payne.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, let's don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Alright. I will give you an update here at my house. We are sleeping in our bed again, and we are able to use our toilet in our
Oh,
bathroom.
that makes me happy.
That's nice. That's
You
nice.
have a toilet.
Yeah, we have the shower is done, but there's no glass, so we can't shower in there lest we flood the bathroom.
Oh,
So, things are looking up.
that's great.
We're
You
gonna be
could be in a
showering.
van
Mm.
on your 17th breakup like Statler and Dempsey. Sorry, I just have been catching up with 90 Day, the other show that I used to cover.
Oh,
But
and do you have any Statler and Dempsey updates for us?
no. But
Okay.
I did I do feel like I'm maybe on the wrong side of some of these couples, and so I really need to catch up. I was also behind on your coverage with Amy, so
Yeah.
I need to catch up to see if you all agree with me or if I am wrong and I maybe won't state my opinions publicly.
Okay. Well, after this is over, will you tell me your opinions? Because now I'm very interested to see what you
Okay,
could be
yeah,
wrong about.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. And are you caught up on Love After Lockup? Life After Lockup?
No, I've been watching and then listening to you and Keisha, so it's a long process.
Well, I appreciate your dedication, but you could just watch them all.
And I know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like to
Bianca
also listen.
Bianca cut her hair, so there's the update on that. Yeah. In real
Did
life, her
did
hair
she
looks
wash it though?
it appears to be washed and cut.
Here's what I think is happening. She has very, very thin hair, and
Yeah.
it's also very dark, and she dyes it, I think, black.
Mhm.
It doesn't really suit her skin tone. I have a
Mhm.
friend who did the exact same thing in college, also had very, very thin hair, and she
Mm.
also did not wash it regularly because I
Mm.
think she was self-conscious that it was so thin, but the not washing actually made it worse,
Yeah, it does.
and I
Yeah.
don't think she realized that it was making it worse because that it's a she needs to get on that Nutrafol that you're always promoting.
My husband has been taking Nutrafol for like a year, and his hair has totally changed. This is not an ad at all,
Really?
guys. They're not a sponsor currently at all. He's been taking it for like a year. He started taking it when I got the sponsorship, and yeah, his hair is completely different.
Incredible.
It does not come out in the shower or anything now, and he's got a
Wow.
gorgeous head of hair.
Wow. Okay.
Again, not an ad. Okay, well, let's get into it. So we've got Before the 90 Days, season 7, episode 12, and it is
Catch 22.
Catch 22. Is that a book that you read?
I did not read it. No.
You did not. I did not either. And
No, it was not
although
required reading. Did I read it by choice? Absolutely not. Do I
but we
use
did
that expression a lot? Yes, I do.
I was about to say, but we all know what the phrase means.
Yeah.
So when we're going through this, are we gonna see a catch 22 somewhere with these people? Because I'm trying to think. Sort of a damned if you do,
Oh,
damned if you don't. I'm looking.
we'll hit okay, we'll go by each couple and we'll see if we can
Figure it out.
yeah.
I don't even know why we're trying, actually.
No, I don't because no one um what was last week?
It was like War and Peace, and then we had
Oh, The
like
Fault in Our Stars. Yeah, no one had cancer.
yeah, and nobody was like star-crossed lovers that was dying of cancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is season 7, episode 12, Catch 22, and we're gonna start with Renee and Chidi,
What?
and this'll be the last time we see them, question mark, because remember last week when we started with them, we said, "We'll never see them again," and then
No,
yet
you said that, and I said, "I will not believe it until she is not on my screen. This bitch will never leave. She's like Beetlejuice, but you've stopped saying her name and she's still hanging around." Whatever the opposite of Beetlejuice, I don't know, but, the metaphor doesn't hold, but I knew it wasn't gonna be the last.
but we don't see her board the plane.
We see her on the plane
We
this week.
do?
Yes.
Okay, I was only
So
half
I was
paying
like,
attention.
"This has to be it. Please,
It
dear
has
God."
to be.
So she's finally leaving the airport, leaving for the airport, and I was waiting for but before I go to the airport, Chidi wants to meet me at the chicken market to have one less less breakup conversation. Like, how many times do they need to break
Mm,
up? Are they Ross and Rachel? Like, just end it. So she's sad
um,
and numb, and deep down, she's angry. And I was
mm,
like, "Deep, this has been your anger deep down? What is your anger on the surface? Like
we don't
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?"
Yes. Yeah, good.
So, she's, like, talking to herself in the car. She was calm, but then she's getting herself riled up. She's, like, should not be alone with her own thoughts because
Did you
she
notice
thinks
how nice
she's
she
alone.
was to the guy at the hotel when he
Freaking
pulled
not a finger was waved in that man's face. She's
mm-mm.
using her high-pitched, nice voice. She is thanking him profusely, like, she has the ability to be nice,
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, was she banging that guy? Like, why is she be
right?
did he have sex with her? Why is she being
Right.
so nice? Is
Yeah.
he also a vegetarian? I don't know."
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she's like riling herself up. Why did you hell did you invite me here to lead me on? It's a bunch of bull and blah blah blah. And it's like, who are you speaking to? You're just in the car. She's just like the producer is like, I need to be off of this case.
Well, I think the
Why did they
driver's
keep
like,
oh god,
"Oh, no.
don't mention a chicken.
Oh, no. Okay."
So she's like, I felt a terrible dark energy when I was talking to Chidi, and then I looked up and I saw Victoria. Like she's psychic or something. I
Mhm.
knew it. I knew there was that dark energy. So she's like, you know what? I don't totally blame Chidi for our problems. And I thought for one brief second that she was going to take accountability, but nay, that was foolish, Kimberly. No, she goes, there's a force that he's just too weak to break away from, meaning Victoria.
His sister, yeah.
So they are the fault in their stars is their fault. They are at fault. She is never at fault. She's the
Mhm.
biggest victim complex. Her and Brian have the biggest victim complexes.
Oh,
It's
Brian.
ridiculous.
Oh, Brian.
So she starts crying. He chose his family over me, even though she's the one that made him choose, and they did not make him choose. But
I don't
okay.
Yeah, I don't see
Um,
that at all. I don't see that it was ever choose between Victoria or me. It was just like, "You're crazy,
mhm.
and so I
It
can't
was a
be
choice
with you."
between sanity and insanity,
Yeah. It had
and
nothing to
like
do with
many people in this country, she chose the latter. So, no comment.
no comment.
So, now we're with Chidi in the house, and his family is so sweet and making sure that he's okay, and he says, "I'm grateful that she came, but it wasn't right," and Victoria's like, "No, it was not. Please don't say a positive thing about her," because she's like, "Don't run back to her, please." She's, like, gonna tie him up, like and then no one in the town will ever hear from him, and then, like, he's confined to, like, straps and, because
Now,
she's so scared he's gonna go back to Renee.
she doesn't want him to have any access to the internet.
No, she
That's
will
for
take
sure.
away yeah,
Yeah.
smash the monitor, smash yeah. So, he's like, "No, no worries, Victoria, we're done for good, I promise." And Bernard's like, "What if she calls you?" And he says, "It's done. We can't keep doing the same things and expecting different results." Which is why then did you have to break up with her 17 times? I'm gonna have a conversation with her, calm, a rational conversation. And then that didn't work, and then he tries it again the next day. Let's try again to have a rational conversation.
I think it's again all this backstory that we've heard about they were together for a couple of years and then they did break up. And then when they were actually broken up, then that's when TLC called. So I think a lot of that has something to play into it that they're just not saying.
Which is the same thing that people are saying about Inky and Corona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and I
That
think they were
ooh.
saying the same thing about Nicole and Mahmoud.
Yes, I know about Nicole and Mahmoud for sure. And Ingy and Krona, like he said, when they started filming, she'd already been there 6 months.
That's co but she
It's
was
crazy.
back in, with her midwifery.
Well, I mean, what is time?
What
In
is
the
t
in
trickery? I
Matt
don't know.
Sharp's world, what is time?
No.
We don't know.
Can you find couples, Matt Sharp, who are actually together that you have to trick us? Were any of these
Mm,
couples such good couples that you had to trick us? Like, maybe Renee and Chidi, I could see wanting to trick things just to get this woman on our TV because you think she's TV gold, but
uh-huh.
I don't think Corona and Inky are that entertaining that you had to do that. I definitely don't think Nicole and Mahmoud were entertaining enough that you had
No,
to do that.
that was Depression City. Yeah.
That was us in that burkini, sad face, like
Oh, are we gonna get to see the burkini next week of Tiger Lily? I hope so.
oh, yeah, I was waiting for it.
Mm.
So, she says she goes, "I need to hold a funeral for Chidi because the Chidi I knew is dead and gone. He's not the Chidi I fell for." And I was like, "Do not go back to New Mexico and talk about throwing a funeral for Chidi because everyone in your village is going to think that you murdered him because
Yeah,
they know you."
because other people in her presence have gone missing and
Yeah.
not by the dark forces.
No, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
and the show says it was the aliens, I'm sure.
yeah.
They got abducted.
Mhm.
Her mom and the mom's 2 friends that were so scared to inflict her upon the continent of Africa were
Yeah.
like, "It what murder? You having a funeral for Why are we having a funeral for Chidi? What'd you do, Renee?"
You're like, "Does somebody have Victoria's number? I know somebody's got Victoria's number. Can we check on Chidi?" Yes.
So, she also when she was talking about him being a different person than the one she fell for, I really thought she was gonna call him a pod person, because essentially she's saying she goes, "The body is the same, but the inside person is gone." And I was like, "Are you saying you think do you really think he's a pod person?" Is like
She
on
says
Twilight
she
Zone?
says so many weird things here that I
Yeah, you
mean,
can't tell if she's speaking metaphorically or if
yeah.
she's speaking conspiratorially.
Yes. Yes, good word, yeah.
So she goes to the airport, and I again was I was holding my breath until she was on the plane. Until
Did
the
you think he was
plane
gonna run down the tarmac? Like
Yes.
yeah.
Until that would be so dangerous. And until those wheels were up in the air, I was not breathing easy. So she's filming herself on the plane and she's saying, "I wonder if he'll regret this or miss me." This is oh sorry, I'm rewinding. She's walking through the airport. She's filming herself. Her, drink is in her sunglasses are in her hand, phone up, and she's going, "I wonder if he'll regret this or miss me at all. I'm gonna miss this place." And then she pulls out a tooth floss picker
Yeah.
and starts flossing
Mhm.
whilst she's filming herself. Now, Anne has sunglasses in her hand. I mean, it
Well,
was impressive, but also gross. Like, because that means food particles are flying and you're in a public place. I love my floss picks. I use them constantly,
mhm.
but not in public, not while I'm filming myself for national TV.
But, I mean, she also rolled around in that lingerie and was like, "Ooh, she's gonna feel this fabric, and then the
Yeah, it's
next day
one thing
she's yelling at him at
doesn't
the ocean. I mean,
she does not feel shame the way the rest of us mere mortals feel shame.
no.
No.
No, 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 no.
So she's so she's still being like, "I wonder if he'll miss me." I bet he's gonna reach out to me. He's gonna miss me. He's gonna come begging back for more of this, but I'm gonna
Mhm,
block him. So
mhm,
it's too late, Chidi, your last straw. And then she's on the plane and she can't wait to get home and sleep in her bed with her chickens or whatever. And she is proud of herself for flying across the world by herself because she never even goes to the grocery store. I thought that was very sweet. I was like,
mhm,
good, that is good for you. You
mhm.
inflicted your terror upon the entire continent of Africa. I do not approve of that, but you did have some independence.
She
So,
stepped out of her comfort zone.
yeah.
Mhm.
So she gets back to America. We don't want her here either. Revoke her visa.
Well, her
Um,
kids her kids were happy to see her, so that's good.
th- I mean, it was so sweet. Like they go running up to her. She must be doing something right, but
Yeah.
also they have not seen her episodes air yet.
I know, I'm trying to see the positive. I'm like, "Well, the kids seem to really think she's doing great."
Are they going to when they are being teased at school because of
No,
how their mom acted on TV?
no, but at this moment, they were happy to see her.
That's true. Um, so she goes, "I still have the light and the love and the hope." And I was
Okay.
like, "Her? You had
Yeah.
those things?
Mhm. Yeah.
When
Mhm.
did you?" Okay. And I still think someone is out there for me, but I'm ready to move on from this species. And I thought she was going to say, "And I'm ready to start dating chickens." But she goes, "I'm ready for an alien or a high-tech monkey, whatever comes out there, but I'm better than these pesky people. I deserve better than this."
Now, it was sad when she said, "I deserve better than this." She kinda teared up, like, she kind of, like, was trying to, like, pump herself up, and, they do have I've seen, on the internet, they do have now, like, you can have a robot they have robot waiters and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe she can get the beta version of a robot boyfriend and
Well,
train that boyfriend how she wants to be treated,
they
and
have
then that'll be
online
perfect.
AI boyfriends that you can
No,
like
this is like an actual
that lives in your
like a
house.
robot, yeah, mhm. Yeah, like the Jetsons. If you can't see what I'm doing 'cause
I
it's
don't
not on
think she
video,
can
but I'm like,
afford that,
yeah, yeah.
but she might be able to afford the online version, and they,
Okay.
like, send you texts and, like, stuff like that,
I
and
think
they
she
listen
needs
to you.
she well, I think
She's horny, though.
she
She's
wants to bang it out with a robot.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
horny,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But, like, they joke, like, when a man is so horrible and then his girlfriend breaks up with him and then she starts dating women, and then they're like, "Well, he turned her off men forever."
Yeah.
Chidi was so bad that he turned her off the human species, but
Mm.
it's just a shame they were never able to catch his horribleness on camera. That's I'm sure it was there and we just never saw it.
According to her, there was so much of it, and we
Did
just
they
didn't
just
see it.
maybe they just the because he was paying off the producers or something, so they just didn't air,
Definitely. Yeah.
his horrible footage and they only aired hers?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
a
He
lot of
has
people.
blackmailing stuff on Matt Sharp or something, and
Look, we all do. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So hopefully we're finally done, but I hesitate to say that because I've been burned way too many times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know. But I literally wrote, let's start with Renee and Chitty. And I said, is this because it's the exact same thing I wrote last week? Because I just like erased the notes and start over. I wrote, is this the last time? And I didn't even erase that part. I was like, I'm just going to keep that there until we know for sure.
Oh my god.
Um, Y'all, it's the season to be thankful. And sometimes you have to dig deep, and I mean deep, to find things to be thankful for. But this year, I'm thankful for Honey Love Bras because there's nothing worse than suffering through a Thanksgiving dinner with an uncomfortable bra, or really just in your everyday life. Sometimes I watch our reality shows and I want to send some of our gals a Honey Love bra. You know, I'm looking at you directly, Zaria. But y'all know Honey Love's bras feature that supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're super soft. I mean, you don't want to take it off. It's a around the house bra, it's a sleeping bra. They're just so comfortable. You guys, my mom is 83 and she just recently told me she ordered a Honey Love bra. And I can't wait to hear how much she loves it. She's going to love it. And she used my code, of course. Don't forget about their shapewear. It's holiday party season, you guys. We all have an outfit we need to fit into, look great, whether it's like pants or a dress. Their shapewear uses targeted compression technology, so you no longer feel like you're suffocating or that your life is being squeezed out of you. For me personally, I like their V neck bra, and I also love the super power short for smoothing out those love handles, under that dress. And so it doesn't roll down when you sit down. Also, that is the worst. You're at a party, you sit down, the thing rolls down, you got to get up, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to fix it, and then you got to readjust your boobs and everything. When you're wearing Honey Love, you don't have any of these problems. Okay. Give the gift of comfort this holiday season, whether you're attending a wedding, hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner, or going to a holiday party, or simply seeking that everyday boost of confidence. Honey Love can be your perfect plus one. So get yourself or someone you love the gift of comfort. Plus, for November only, listen to this. Honey Love is giving up to 50% off site wide. Visit honeylove.com/pink shade and shop their sale. And when you go to checkout, it'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please say, "Pink Shade sent me." Thanks. Okay, let's move on to Vanya and Bojo. Um, okay, Vanya calls her cousin and was like, okay, she goes, I haven't even talked to my cousin the whole time I've been in Croatia. I was like, you've been there 1.5 days.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
but a lot has happened.
that's true. A lot of rejection has occurred.
Mhm.
And she's like, okay, look, he gave me this plant, which I think is super nice because at least it'll keep me company. 'Cause she was like, well, it'll die. She goes, well, I know, but it'll keep me company while I'm here. That was nice. And he got it
Yeah,
out of a
I didn't even
dumpster.
think about that. This cousin's like, "You can't bring it with you home."
Yeah. She's like, oh, yeah, you're right. They've got that agriculture thing you have to go through at the airport. So she goes, yeah, when I first got here, he planned for us to go to a cooking class. It was so nice. But, then he told me he doesn't have a romantic attraction to me right now. And the cousin goes, what? He's been FaceTiming with you for months and he seems head over heels for you. He's already seen you. What the hell? I don't even understand. And Vanya goes, yeah, I don't know. Like, I agree. Like, he says he wants to see if the physical will develop over time. And she goes, okay, well, you need to remember that this guy's been inconsistent. He's been hot and he's been cold. What is he hiding? Hmm. Interesting. And she says, maybe because he plays basketball, he's got a lot of girls that like him. I don't think it's like the NBA.
Okay, she
I don't
needs to he plays in the neighborhood rec league, like, for the YMCA.
yeah. I do think at some point he played semi-professionally, but
Yes,
it wasn't even like we could say, well, he made the Croatian Olympic team or
right.
like no, he
No,
now plays rec league. And
yes.
so She goes, well, he plays basketball. So maybe he has, a girl in every port and, and maybe he has that ex-girlfriend. Maybe she's still in the picture. Vanya says she reminds us that, he broke up with her for the ex and then he came back to her. But then she says, 2 months ago, he broke up with me, but then got back with me when the ex dumped him. 2 months ago.
I thought it was I can't believe it was that short of time.
2 months ago is when he dumped her and then came back to her, and she's already in Croatia.
That does ring of desperation.
And a lot of it is ringing a desperation. I don't like that for Vanya.
She is such a badass lady. She is an entrepreneur. She
Yeah.
works all these jobs and has created such a successful life for herself
Yeah.
and is like a belly dancer and like she's pretty and like I just why is she like that? Men are intimidated by a successful woman or something? Or
I don't know. I did have somebody write and say that they had, oh, I'm not going to get it right. They had spent some time in Croatia, is kind of the gist of what I was remembering what they sent me. And basically said that Vanya would stick out and that she does like dress very loudly or
yeah,
whatever. But to me, other than the pink eyeshadow, I don't think she just dresses like she's from Florida, like
I
she lives
mean,
in a
but
warm
they're not
climate.
used to that.
Yeah.
She no, she wears that pink fur coat
That's what I'm saying. She dresses
and the
like she's
pink
from Florida.
pants. Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean and everything there is beige because it's
Right.
those old stone buildings and things, like, she stands out, so maybe he's
Yeah.
self-conscious,
Could
but
be.
he always says he's, like, the funny guy, he's the class clown, he's Eddie Murphy, you would think he would love that sort of
Yeah.
attention, like, "Look
Yeah.
at this wild blonde pink lady I have on my arm."
But maybe we're getting to something here. Maybe he doesn't want that because he wants to be the center of attention.
That is I knew several of those guys in college who were, like,
Mhm.
so funny and entertaining, and the girls they picked were just like Anne Veal from Arrested Development, and it was like, "Why?"
'Cause
Because
they
they
wanna
wanna be the
be
entertaining
mhm.
one.
I think we've solved it, Kimberly.
Don't
Podcast.
let a man dull your shine, ladies.
That's correct. That's correct. So, um, she says, we're gonna meet some friends tonight. I'm excited. We're going to meet the friends. So hopefully I'll get some clarity and some insight when I meet these friends. And in her talking head, she says, this has happened to me a lot. Like every time I put myself out there with somebody, I end up heartbroken. And
Oh,
this is a lot to process. And it reminds me, you didn't watch Love is Blind, but it reminds me a little bit of Marissa, who has this huge personality. And she said, it always ends up, the guys is always like, it's too much for me. And this
oh,
guy that she was with was like, it's never going to be too much for me. Like, I love you the way you are. And she goes, everybody says that. And after about a month, like, I'm too much. And guess what happened? After about a month, he was like, I don't know if I can live like this because her personality is so big and she's just so up and so happy and a lot.
okay, that does maybe sound like she could tone it down a little.
Definitely. But also,
Don't let shine your light for anybody, ladies, except Marissa.
well, Marissa, I think was just herself and it was told it's okay to be yourself. And then at the end, it was like, yeah, maybe not quite so much
Yeah,
yourself.
you can
You,
still try to better yourself.
you can still be yourself, but half. Okay.
Yeah. Just had
So,
yeah, half life.
half life. So, and her cousin says, look, he needs to realize like he's lucky to have you. And I don't think he needs to wait like 3 weeks to figure out how lucky he is to have you. And basically, she's like, don't forget, he's wishy washy. He's jerked you around. And the cousin is like, I can see the cousin needs to get on a plane and just
Yeah,
come over to Croatia and just, no,
yeah.
be
Also,
her.
Anya, just get on the apps again because you met him while you were on the apps. It just get on an app there. You will meet another
You're
guy.
right.
He might get jealous,
But who
and then
cares?
that'll show that his true colors.
I don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think so either.
all right, so she's getting ready to go meet the friends. She's got a bunch of clothes laid out and she's telling production while she's getting ready. She goes, I have no idea what he's told these friends about our relationship. I don't know if he said like we're friends. I don't know. So he comes in and she goes, "This is what I was thinking about wearing. Is this okay?" He goes, "Oh my gosh, everything here is amazing. Anything you would wear would be amazing. Oh, I love that particular necklace." And he helps her put it on. So he likes, at least he's saying that he likes her bright clothes and her,
I think that's what's annoying. He kept doing the same thing. "You are so beautiful, you are so sexy, you are so gorgeous, but I'm
Yeah,
not into you."
right.
Like, then don't hype me up like that. Like,
Yeah.
just be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're exactly right. So I can't wait to talk to her. So in the talking head, he says, I'm sorry that we haven't connected romantically because, online was great. We were like Fred and Barney or Rocky and Bullwinkle or Thelma and Louise.
What?
Number one, current references only. And number two, these are friend duos. These are friend duos.
They are, and one of them is a murderous duo that
I mean,
drove over a cliff. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't seen it by now.
when Dave went to Moab in Utah and he went to the cliff where they drove over the cliff.
Ooh.
Yeah. He took a picture.
Um,
He goes, "You recognize this?" I go, "No, but step back. What are you doing?" Um,
you know what? That is totally on brand with him because of his when he was like, "I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm Dan Aykroyd. I'm
Martin Lawrence, never
Martin
forget.
Lawrence."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So he's his TV stopped working in 1994. And he's just
Yeah.
everything before that.
Uh-huh.
So he tells her, he's like, I got to tell you, like, I'm so happy that you're here. And I really feel bad about everything that happened. And I never wanted to make you cry. I just feel terrible. She goes, "Oh, that's really nice. I appreciate you telling me that." And he goes, "I want to meet my friends. I want to have a good time." And she goes, "Okay, well, I'm kind of nervous to meet your friends." And he goes, "Don't worry. They're all so nice. They're just like having all the Smurfs in the same place."
What?
Has Croatia gotten any new television in the last 30 years? What's happening in Croatia with their television?
I don't I'm just baffled.
He only watches Nick at Night, but like from 10 years ago? Like, what's going on?
That's I don't know what to say. I blocked out I missed all of these comments that you were mentioning. Was
Yeah.
I totally zoned out during their segment?
Yes. Yes.
I
Because if you don't have to take notes, you zone out. So do I.
I just don't understand. He's like,
Yeah.
it's like I Love Lucy and, the Honeymooners
Yeah.
and,
He said, "My friends are
Them and
great.
the Holograms
Yeah, they're just like having all the Smurfs in one place."
and the original
Okay.
Saved by the Bell Cat. I mean, these are my references. I do love
Right.
that, but what
I don't know. I don't know. These are questions we have for Vanya. So they arrive to meet the friends. So we have Bruno, who is 7'2", which makes sense as a basketball player.
basketball, that's what we're expecting out of a
Yes.
basketball player.
Then we have Marvin and Jacob, and they're all very cute. I think they're all equally, including Bojo, equally attractive. But what I want to know, and this is what I'm going to ask Vanya when I talk to her, I want to know, do these guys have regular day jobs? Even
Right.
if they're a professional basketball player, do they still need to have a job?
Yeah, I would guess so.
I would think so too. So they're like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. How did you meet?" And she says, "Well, we met online." And they kind of joke about like, "Oh, and it was it exceed or met your expectations." She goes, "No, no, he looks so much better in person." And they're like, "Oh, did you know? Was he truthful about how tall he is?" And then Bruno makes, and then they make a joke about how short he is or whatever. And so she says, "So now that I've got you guys here, like, what kind of girls has he dated in the past?" And one of them goes, "I gotta say, the girl that he dated before you, the ex-girlfriend, like, she looks a lot like you." Now remember, he dated her for like 7 years.
Yeah. Is that but he knew what Vanya looked like. Again, it keeps coming back to that.
Maybe that's why he picked her.
But
Um,
then why is he not into her in person?
maybe in person she doesn't have the mannerisms and she doesn't act like the ex-girlfriend. She just looks like her physically.
He was looking for an ex-girlfriend clone,
Yeah, he
and
didn't
he
get it.
got a spicier version.
Yeah, yeah. They wears bright color clothes. So in the talking head, the three guys are together and they go, "Yeah, last week, he mentioned a girl was coming and we're surprised that she came all this way. Like, this girl is the full package with appearance and personality." And Bruno goes, "She's out of his league." And
I loved that.
and they laugh, but they're like, Bruno is right. Also, he's
Yeah.
7 too, so we just agree with everything he says. Um, so then they're asking them like, "Okay, so is it good in person? Is it like what you thought, or is it better than online? Is it the same as it was online?" And he goes, "Oh, being with Vanya, way, way, way better in person. Like she's great."
Okay,
And
see again, he's a positivity bullshitter.
yes, I would say gaslighter.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Well, that's really interesting because you've told me the opposite." And all the friends just kind of look and she goes, "Yeah, he made me cry. Like he hasn't even kissed me." And when she said he hasn't even kissed me, I thought all these guys were going to like just throw their beers in the air. They were just like, "What?" And Bruno goes, "What do you mean? What's up with that?" And he goes, "Well, she's so dear to me." And he starts talking and they go, "So she's finally here and you don't even make a move." And he goes, okay, so I told her I don't feel the chemistry and I don't want to rush into something if I don't feel it in that moment." And Vanya goes, "Yeah, now I'm wondering if he feels that way because of his ex. Maybe I'm wondering if she's still even in the picture." And he goes, "Oh," he starts to talk. And the one guy goes, "Be honest, be honest." And then, of course, we go to a commercial to trick us. And then we
Mhm.
come back from the commercial and he goes, "Be honest, are you still texting or in contact with your ex?" And he says, "No, no, 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 no. No, I am not in contact with her." And Vanya says, "Who broke up with who?" He says, "She broke up with me. And it was because I was immature. And that's in my past. And actually, she has a new boyfriend now. And I'm very happy for her. And, even if she didn't have a new boyfriend, I can't, as you say, sit on two chairs." Okay. I guess that means date two girls at the same time.
Yeah, I was trying to not say anything dirty. Um,
Yeah,
could he be dating Vanya to make this girl jealous? To win her back, this first girl?
could be.
Like, is he gonna parade her around?
Well, they're being followed around by camera crews. So
Yeah, just having her on TV. Um,
could be.
yeah, I still don't totally get him.
I don't either.
Or is he just so immature that he doesn't think that it's a problem to lead Vanya on like this when he knows that he's still into his ex?
There has to be something deep going on here because even his mom said he needs psychiatry.
Yeah.
Something deep is going on here that makes him live with his mom and his aunt, not
Mhm.
be able to get a real job,
Mhm.
not be truthful with a woman that he's dating, that he even knows that this woman that he's dating could probably just support him.
Yeah.
And he's still not into it, you
Mhm.
know? So when they're talking about this, like not kissing her and all this stuff, the guys go, "So how long do you expect her to wait for you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm here for 3 weeks. I asked him last night to stay on the couch in my apartment, not in the bed, just on the couch to be with me. And he said no." And Bojo's like, "Well, I'm traditional and I'm polite towards a lady." And the guys are like, "You're wasting her time. You're wasting her time while she's here. And while she's here, you should be focusing on her." And they're like, "And you also don't even have a job, you
Yeah.
know?"
Also,
It,
could one of these guys ask her out maybe and steal her away? It would just take a kind word.
I think that these three guys all think that she's very attractive and are
Yeah.
like, "What's wrong with him?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, "What he seems to be focused on is showing me around Croatia. And I would just be honestly happy sitting on the couch with him, doing nothing or cooking together because the time while I'm here, it's about us and getting to know each other." And Bruno goes, "Here's what you're going to do. You're going to lock yourself in the apartment for 24 hours and don't exit.
It's like an escape room.
Yeah. You will love me in 24 hours." And she goes, "Bruno gets me more than he does. And he just met me." And they all kind
Just
of laugh.
go bang it out in the bathroom with Bruno because you're not getting any from Bojo.
Bruno wasn't the cutest of the three, but he'll do.
He was
He
fine. They
he
were
was fine.
all great. They
They
had
were
all had really fun personalities,
yeah,
which makes them even more attractive, and Bojo is not nearly as funny as he thinks he is, which makes
no,
him less attractive.
I agree. I agree. So, Bruno says, sometimes I'm so sorry. Bojo says, "Sometimes you should just take a sit by the sea and take a breath and not just this decision, not just for this decision, but for everything in life. You're too rushy." And she goes, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, I only have 3 weeks here, so it's a little bit of a time pressure. This is some bullshit. And I wouldn't have come here if I knew I was gonna be friend zoned." Now they're all still talking it seems like she's getting a little aggro, but she goes, "That's kind of bullshit. Like, I wouldn't have come here if I knew I was going to be friend zone." And the one buddy goes, "Yeah, you can't just do that to a person." So
Yeah.
now the tide has turned on him.
Oh, for
Okay.
sure.
He doesn't like it. And he goes, "Yes, I have to tell you that I appreciate this, all of you, from the bottom of my heart. But I think after this tonight, I think maybe it's best that you spend more time alone here in Croatia. And I'm going to put aside the plans for meeting my mom because I think it's just going to prolong our arguments. And I don't want to keep you like a pigeon in a cage."
Okay, that's I mean, not like she was being, like, so nice about him. She did call him on his bullshit in front of his friends, but then to he essentially just breaks up with her again
Hmm.
in front of his friends.
Yeah.
First, he did it in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
Now he did in front of the cameras, an entire restaurant full of people and his friends.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, for the next, 2 weeks and 6 days, she's only been there 1 day,
Yeah.
"You could just spend some time alone in Croatia, and I'm gonna cancel a meeting with my mom." And she's like, "What?" And she goes, "I'm done with this. This is complete bullshit." And she gets up and walks out, and she's crying, and they're all just like, "Dude, like, what is wrong with you?" And that's it. So
Again,
that's
I
it.
cannot comprehend the amount of planning it would go into traveling somewhere and staying for 3 weeks. Like,
Yeah,
she has so many businesses that she runs and, like, commitments and things and traveling and staying somewhere in
yeah,
that really nice, like, apartment for 3 weeks,
yeah.
and it's like he doesn't have any
One day, he was like,
because he
"Meh."
doesn't even have a job, so he doesn't understand what things cost.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. It's crazy. It's completely crazy that I can understand where he's like, "Hey, I want to take it slow and I don't want to like make out or whatever right away." That's fine. But to just be right away, like, I got to be honest, I don't have any chemistry with you. And, it's been exactly 12 hours. So you're
Yeah,
going to have to go.
yeah.
Ugh.
Go sightsee on your own.
All right. Well, let's talk about Brian and Ingrid. And did you see the thing that I don't know if you saw it. I sent it to you on Instagram. It was from Mary Pants, Merry, Mary Pants, had this whole post on Brian that was from his current wife, the one that he's married to, like while he was courting Ingrid, the one that lives
No,
in Recife or whatever.
no.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's like
she
a,
lives in Recife? Where
yes,
they went to the
yes,
sea?
yes. And there's, like, pictures of, like, from Brian's apartment when they show him looking out of his apartment to the sea, there's her building, like, you could see the wife's building, like, it's 2 buildings over or whatever, and she's, like, charged him with stalking, and they're still married, and he's been courting, Ingrid, like, a month after they got married or something, he started courting Ingrid, and he was married had just married this other woman, which was his 4th marriage, like, it's crazy.
I'm not
It's just worse and worse and
It
worse.
gets worse and worse. I would just love that we were so spot on from the beginning. Like,
You could tell he was slimy.
he was slimy. Like, there were so many red flags.
Mhm.
So, I didn't miss them last week, by the way. It was when I saw them again, I was like, "Oh, I forgot you're on this show." Um,
Yeah.
I did miss her mom being so rude to him right to his face. So he goes to pick her up for their trip to the sea, and he brought another present for Arthur, a toy, and makes Arthur give him a hug, which I don't like.
I don't like it
And
either.
he calls him Uncle Brian. Don't
Don't
like
like
that.
don't
I don't
like
like
it.
any of this.
Mm-mm.
I don't like it.
But she was like, "Say thank you to Uncle Brian."
Oh, I know. No, she's playing a part in this too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it because now the son is going to start asking about him.
Yeah.
Like, it's been 3 times now that he's hung out with Brian. He's going to start, yeah.
Yeah,
So
where's that uncle that brings me the presents? Yeah.
exactly. So Brian's so happy to get away from this town of hers where there's a cloud hanging over him. Again, it's the town, not his actions that have
Right.
ruined the trip thus far. So he says, that maybe sorry, I lost my place because I
It's
get
okay.
so upset. He says, "Yesterday was rough, but maybe over time your mom will warm up to me." And Ingrid goes, "No, she won't." The only
Nope.
person my parents were nice to was my older son's father, who my dad loved like a son, like
Mm.
loved. And so Brian immediately gets really jealous and sulky, like any man in their 50s should. And he's like, do they want you to get back together with him? And she's like, yeah, they probably do, but it's my life. It's my decision. And he's like, okay, good. Like, because he's
Also, I
so
think she
worried.
doesn't know where that man is located.
That's
I
true.
think yeah, I don't think she knows. I mean, I think she said that at the beginning, like, both
Oh,
those
he's
guys are
gone. Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
So they fly 5 hours away. I thought they were going on a little road trip to the sea.
I didn't realize it was I was like, "Oh, are they going to" it would be like me going from here to see you to
I
California.
thought the exact same
Yeah,
thing. I was like,
yeah,
that's like coming to visit the United States, going to New York City, and flying out to LA for like 2 days and then
yeah,
flying back.
totally.
That's insane. And
Yeah.
now that I know that his ex-wife is
Mhm,
from there,
mhm.
that makes it even weirder that that he would fly there. There are plenty of other places they could have gone on little vacation
Didn't
together.
he say he has an apartment there, though? I thought
Yes,
he's
but I don't know if he still, like, owns it. I thought he was just, like, it was the place he rented when he was there, or d
according to this Mary Pants thing, that was the apartment he had with his wife, and when they broke up or he did whatever, she moved, like, several buildings down and thought he was selling that place, but he didn't, and he would come to visit and stay in their place that they owned together and, like, stalk her, and, like, brought Ingrid there to make her jealous.
that all checks out. Like, I
Yeah,
buy that 100%.
me too.
So, Ingrid is staying at her own hotel because she is not ready to have boom boom with him, and he is staying at this apartment, and he says it's because it's wheelchair accessible, but now I'm realizing that is all it's because he still owns it. The ex is there. He can show off his new hot piece of ass and
Mhm, mhm,
all of that.
all of
So,
it.
like in the country of Brazil, you are going on a vacation 5 hours away to where your ex lives, when there is a million other places in Brazil you could have gone to.
It is famously a beautiful country with lots of ocean that you could go to. Yes.
Tons.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. So, he's still bummed that they haven't had sex yet. He's really hoping they can
Mm,
have sex on this trip. Through
mhm.
no fault of his own, they have not had sex yet,
No,
in
just
his
her,
opinion.
just her.
So, they go and rent bikes, and she's very confused. Turns out it's she's gonna ride a bike, and he is going to tie his wheelchair to her bike so that she can pull him along in his wheelchair. Is this supposed
Seems
to be fun for her?
seems
She's
like a
not
lot
a
of
rickshaw.
seems like a lot of legwork.
She is not a rickshaw. Like, what
No.
are you doing to this woman?
It's not like if you put your dog on a skateboard and, like, pull not that you
Yeah,
would, but I'm just like, it's not like something
yes.
light you could pull behind you. This is like a
No, he's a
full-grown man in a
grown man.
chair. Yes, uh-huh.
I mean, but she kind of thinks it's fun, like, it's a creative way that he get has a how she likes how he has a workaround to every situation and doesn't let things stop him.
I
But
think she just
also,
wanted to see her ass on a bike.
yeah.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
So, also, this is a metaphor for your entire relationship. If you stick with this man, you are going to be dragging him around, doing things for him.
Helping him take off his belt, as it were.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they stop for coconut water, and he very casually is like, "You should come see my apartment tonight."
Mhm.
Boo.
Heard that before.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm not saying anything will be would happen, but it would be cool if it did. I want us to progress and not just be casually talking after this trip, because I take relationships so seriously."
Mhm, mhm.
All 500 that I've had.
Right.
So she says, "No, I agree. We're not gonna be talking casually. We're gonna be talking about the future, and maybe I'll even, like, move to be with you, and we'll get married, and I can bring my son with me, or whatever. Like, I wanna make this work." So he says, "That's great to hear, because I'm getting older, and I might need help from a partner as I get older." And she's like, um Yeah, I mean, some things I'm willing to help with and some I'm not. I don't wanna be a mother or a babysitter, and he kind of sinks. He's like, "Oh, that's
Mm.
exactly what I'm looking for." He said, "I know no one goes into a relationship to be a caregiver, but I will need help when I get older, like, my body I'm breaking down my body, I've done a lot of wear and tear, and I'm, in the wheelchair," and he actually played professional sports, unlike Bojo.
He did. Yes.
Um, so he's like, "I will need help, and when you love someone, you wanna take care of them, and I just don't know if Ingrid has it in her to be my caretaker." Then maybe don't try to date a 32-year-old.
Also in that Mary Pants
Hire a
thing,
nurse.
yeah, in that Mary Pants thing, it says that his daughter, Brianna, reached out to this 4th wife and was like, "Stay away from him." Like the daughter was like, "He's toxic. He's terrible." Yeah.
Then why did the daughter appear on the show, driving him to the airport? I knew that daughter had a lot of sense, like,
Mhm.
she I feel bad for her
I
that
do too. I do too. Well, she got that sweet, sweet Matt Sharp money, so that's all
but
she
yeah,
needed.
for her
Yeah,
one scene,
that's right.
she's gonna wind up taking care of him
I
because
know, that's what she
honestly,
doesn't want it.
he's blowing through all of his money, on rings and, like, engagement rings. Unless he has, like, a punch card
Yeah.
at the jeweler, but, like, and whatever, alimony or whatever he's trying to get out of paying for all these women,
Mhm.
and so he's not gonna I mean, I hope he has good insurance that he can have someone take care of him, because if he keeps trying to find girls 20 years younger than him that are
Yeah.
not gonna wanna be tied down to commit to that,
Mhm. He's a nightmare.
he's a nightmare.
He's a nightmare.
You
Um,
do want to take care of someone you love,
yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but this is not love. This is, like, lust and
Yeah.
predatory behavior, and it's
We
great.
haven't even seen them kiss.
Explorism. What?
We haven't even seen them kiss.
No, and
I don't
he's already like, "Are you prepared to wipe my butt?"
yeah, and do my catheter nightly. Yeah,
Which
and
he
she's like,
already proposed within hours of meeting.
"Okay."
I hate him. I think the amount of lies, and then next week I'm so excited because another one of his lies that we thought was a lie that we weren't sure if she knew about is gonna be revealed, and I'm very excited.
I'm excited too. Hey, y'all, this is going to be a two-part episode. This is the end of part one, and part two is already in your feed. Thanks for listening. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.